What do you call a beehive without an exit? Unbelievable. What's going on, YouTube? We have some breaking news because I saw ESO referenced in Eurogamer, and I'm not sure people might be a bit confused as to what's going on because we're getting a free new update for ESO when it comes to some premium features going to the ESO base game. We also have some fun little dungeon farms that are now available in the month of May. So I'm going to use this video to kind of break down those two things at the same time, just because I didn't want to make them two separate videos, but I also thought that they were both worthy to be made into a video because some of you guys don't know about either of these two things. So to kind of round us into the first one, Scribing is going to be part of the ESO base game. It's going to be claimable in the Crown Store at mid-July with an associated Golden Pursuit. However, don't worry, it's not going to be sold in the Crown Store. You can get it. It'll be free. Don't you worry. And if you miss it, you'll still be able to get it moving forward because it'll be a permanent addition to the base game. Also, there'll be a short window from June to July with the launch of Update 44 in the Gold Road Zone, moving to ESO Plus in the Crown Store, where players who do not own Scribing will not be able to purchase or gain access to it. So basically, you won't be able to buy it in that window because it's moving to the base game. So importantly, though, it's Scribing moving to the base game, not the Gold Road. So I saw this and I was like, oh, I'm sure people are absolutely chuffed about this. And, then I see this article from Eurogamer, and it says, The Elder Scrolls Online rolls out a premium feature to all for free, but these players are not happy about it. And then in quotes, oh, that's not the quotes. So, why exactly are we still paying for stuff is interesting. So I thought, this could be fun to talk about in a video where we talk about some fun odds and ends, as well as just, hey, now you guys know there's going to be a Golden Pursuit for Scribing, and it's going to be part of the base game. So I'm like, boom. We get to have a video topic to talk about. And I want to jump to, obviously, the people who are making comments about it, because I thought this was really interesting, is that not everybody is happy about the news, and particularly as Bethesda has confirmed, nothing is planned at the time to compensate players who previously paid for Scribing. So there was a lot of comments about this. What about people who originally paid for it? Is anything getting added to the chapter? For us, it's been less than a year. The new chapter is already getting depreciated. I just bought this the other month. Do I get a refund? And then they say, no, nothing is planned at this time. However, the Scribing Golden Pursuit is rewarding and equally available to those both who have already invested time in Scribing and first-time scribers. In fact, those who have used Scribing over the past year will find it faster and easier to complete. And then they said, so why exactly we're still paying for stuff? Suddenly everything will be available and free to everyone. First, the dungeons are stripped from ESO Plus. Not true, by the way. Now a system goes free that's not even been part of the game for a full year. This is a really interesting comment because it's not true. Dungeons will still be part of ESO Plus. And also, if you're mad about dungeons not being in ESO Plus, why would you be mad about something being added for free? I feel like we're crossing some streams here that are confusing me. So I read this article, obviously, like in the middle of the day, because I read ESO news throughout the workday, and I was like, this is just interesting. And I was curious what my audience thinks, because let's be realistic. If you go to any comment section in the world, you can find a bunch of silly gooses out there, but a lot of people seem really offended that the Gold Road has lost a lot of value. And I'll just be transparent with you. Westworld is still a pretty banger zone. Like right now, during this very event, the thieving event, the Outcast Inn is a great place to go for it because there's tons of stolen goods that you can get from it. There's brand new motifs. There's brand new praxuses that drop from here. Mirrormore incursions are one of the best things to farm when it comes to just incursions in general or gold farming. So I don't know why people feel like they've lost value because the Westworld zone is pretty poppin'. And obviously Scribing is a really important feature, but I think adding it to the base game is actually a really good thing because I steal players from other games. My friends who play Ark Survival Evolved, and they're like refugees looking for a game where the developers aren't terrible. And say what you want about ZeniMax, they are not snail games. I mean, the developers of Ark Survival Evolved should be studied how bad they are at operating a game. And so I bring them to ESO. It's nice for me to explain to them, hey, there's all these premium features like Scribing, Antiquities, jewelry crafting, blah, 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 blah. But you don't need to worry about them because Scribing is something that I think you should start to worry about, especially too, you can start getting scripts really quickly in the game. So I'm just very happy that it's part of the base game. But when it comes to the devaluation of the chapter, I also don't necessarily think that that's really true. And Somerset's a pretty good example of this, because Somerset was a chapter that you could purchase, obviously. You had a whole year to use it before everybody else, and then it entered ESO+. And to me, as a content creator and a player, why would I look at people differently if they got something from ESO Plus or if they got it for free? I got to play it a whole year early. And this is not a new concept. This has been going on since Vardenfell. In fact, Vardenfell was given away for free. Now, granted, that was many years ago that it came out, but it's not like I was like, oh, this devalues all of the stuff in Vardenfell. This is horrible. The reason I wanted to just kind of put attention to this is like, I don't want Bethesda to feel like they can't give us stuff for free because people are going to complain. Like, I love free stuff. I love the fact that if I'm explaining to a new player or a friend of mine, like, hey, now you don't have to buy this premium feature, like, that's a good thing, you know? And I've been able to scribe for a year before anybody's getting it for free, which is the exact same concept as if when the chapter enters ESO Plus, like every other previous chapter, Blackwood, Somerset, Hrothgar, Vardenfell, blah, 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 you know, Necrom, Apocrypha, when all of those entered ESO Plus, it didn't devalue your experience by having access to them a year early, and you still have the Westweld Zone, which even right now is still pretty banging. Like, mythics are good, treasure maps are still worth a lot to either open or sell. The Outcast Inn is literally one of the best places to go right now. It's one of the most farmed zones in the game. The daily quests there give crazy rewards because of all the potential great furniture that you can get. The Miramore incursions are some of the best to farm for gold, to get some of your golden pursuits done. So I just don't see, excuse me, this devaluation of the Westweld Zone. But I'm very curious to see if you guys think that, because that's why I'm throwing this to you, because I'm very curious what you guys feel about this. It's pretty big. It's obviously a premium feature. I'm happy about it, but what do you guys think? Are you annoyed that you bought it early? Because nobody else, it's for free in July. So you have the entire month of May. Even if you bought it yesterday, you've got the entire month of May, June, and then half of July to experience something before anybody else, to get access to the amazing Westweld Zone, to utilize it in different events, and etc. So just let me know what you think, because I'm curious what people actually think, and not just some random people that were on Twitter, I think is where they pull these quotes from, or some other random social media, place. So now we're going to move on to some more fun stuff that I found for the month of May that I haven't talked about and I haven't seen a whole lot of highlight on. And all this stuff is via the Crown Store. So anytime I go over to the Crown Store, I just like to showcase the whole thing, because a lot of people really like to see it. But the key highlight is you are going to be able to get that beautiful ship home. I do love that house. You're able to literally go to different ports in the game as a fast travel point. Absolutely fantastic. Free painting. I apologize. We're going to go through this a little bit quickly. We'll be able to get the Etheric Revenant Arms Pack. There is stuff tied to Plunder Skulls, but that's not available until Halloween. So yes, you can get additional stuff for that, but don't worry about that until Halloween. Some adornments, some body art, some skill styles. I do love the skill styles. Like, I think as a premium feature, that's a really good option for like revenue, because that's not essential gameplay. I just like that you can get customizable stuff without, going buck wild. Another mount. This one's got a skull on his face. Marowak? Is that the Pokemon that has that? Got ourselves a Spriggan costume. By the way, if you bought the costume that was overpriced accidentally in the Crown Store, you may have noticed that you got a refund of crowns. Some people in the forums were like, oh my god, I had added crowns to my account that I didn't purchase. It was because of an error and something was overpriced in the Crown Store. You'll see there's quite a few costume bundles going to be available, but here we get to the first big juicy thing, and that is the Blind Arms Pack. Now, notoriously, I did a Tuesday vendor review where the Blind Shoulder was in store, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, nobody's selling this. That's crazy. It'll probably be a few months before it's available. And it's literally going to be available in the month of May. So from May 22nd to May 29th, you'll be able to find and farm the Blind. And to do that, you need to farm Bedlam Veil. Now, and that's, well, if you wanted to actually get the helmet. So how it works, you have to farm it on Veteran to have a chance for this to drop. And it's a chase item, so it's not guaranteed. It's like a lead. And you farm Veteran Bedlam Vale, and you have a chance to get the matching mask page. Now, that's not the only thing that you can get. You can also buy 1 key mystery coffers from Urgalag's mystery coffer, and you'll have a chance to get the shoulders, or you can buy them outright for 50 Undaunted keys. I almost never suggest that you buy 50 Undaunted keys. Why is that? Well, if you buy the mystery coffer, you're also building out your veteran dungeon shoulders. So you're building out your sticker book, which is just overall very helpful. Now, if this was a base game one, like say this was the City of Ash, monster set, which is still valuable, mind you, but if you're not actively rolling your Undaunted keys, you're going to be getting like Spindle Clutch shoulders, which are hot garbage more often than not. Whereas the DLC shoulders, at least you're building out a sticker book that you could potentially use in the future. You might be very thankful that you did that. Now, how it works too is that that's not all. That's not all, everybody. If you have the achievement, something in Clever, Lith and Clever? I don't know. Somebody will tell me in the comments. They always do. You will increase the drop chances of both items. What is that achievement? It is the hard mode clear. This is what confuses people, right? What confuses people is they see, okay, I need to farm it on Veteran to get the mask. So I need to farm it every time on hard mode. You do not need to do that. You only need to do that once to get the achievement to get the increased odds. That's how it works. The achievement boosts the odds, not farming it on hard mode. What confuses people is that if you farm a veteran dungeon on hard mode that is a DLC dungeon, you will get a motif page from that dungeon. So every dungeon has a motif style. It's got helmets and shoulders and boots and belts, all sorts of stuff. These are style pages, not motifs. That's where people get confused. One is golden, one is purple. The purple ones are like the ones you get from the Jubilee event, that are random from all over Tamriel. Those are your motifs. You use them to make crafting things. Like you can use them, for your writs, your master writ books. These will not be involved in your master writs. So think of that when it comes to delineating between the two of them. So if you wanted to farm that, get the achievement, it's a great one to get. I do think this is going to be a decently profitable one. And the reason I say that too, when it comes to farming the mask, you might not want to do it in a hard mode every time. It's going to take you longer. You want to be farming these things efficiently. If you're spending the time to do the hard mode of Bedlam Vale, you're just going to be spending a lot more time and your odds are going to be the same. And the actual motif style from there is not known to be exceptionally valuable, where that's necessarily worth the time investment for you. And here's another one. We'll have the Troll King's arm pack available for May 29th through June 5th. Importantly, though, this one's mystery coffers comes from Gleron's. Now, that's a bit different because he is a base game dungeon shoulder connoisseur. So basically, if you're not familiar, there's 3 people that sell shoulders for Undaunted keys, but they have a pool that they come from, and it just depends on essentially when a dungeon came out, in my opinion. So one has all the DLC ones. So she's great because you can go there and roll for tons of mystery DLC shoulders, which because when the DLCs came out, re-experienced power creep, they're just naturally better. And the base game ones are just naturally worse. There are some exceptions, obviously, but when it comes to the actual shoulders, it's not necessarily as worth it. And I'll go over what this looks like in the actual vendor so you guys aren't confused what I'm talking about. But the same concept, if you wanted to farm the Troll King, you'll be able to do so. And Troll King, I think, also is going to have a decent amount of value. And its farm period of May 29th through June 5th is also not a long window. Same with the blind. It's only 7 days. So just keep that in mind when it comes to planning what you would like to do. So then we also have some actual styles. I pretty much skip all of these, but they snuck this one in here because there's no image to go with it. But from May 27th through June 2nd, you can also farm Spindle Clutch 1. Now, that's going to be a relatively easy one, and I don't know how much value it's going to have. Yes, we could look at it right now, but I don't want to do that because the value is going to change so drastically, and people are going to be farming this thing like crazy because Spindle Clutch 1 is so easy. Everybody's got the hard mode clear. Everybody's going to be able to farm this dungeon in probably a few minutes. So I'm curious that was probably going to drop in value. But also, too, it's kind of overlapping in time frame wise with the other ones. So maybe people will probably be like, I'm not even going to worry about it. That always can happen, too. We'll have the wild crates. Got the Fair Winds house. Absolutely love this house. We got this statue. Love this statue. Got a couple other ones here that are notable. The Sith's the Dreadfather looks pretty cool. It's a gigantic guy with swords and stuff, you know, hanging out. A big old statue. You got Serena, who's a cat, I'm pretty sure. The Thief personality. The Barassi Assassin personality, which hopefully is fixed. I think that was the one that was problematic. Got a Harvest animation. Some mounts. Unfortunately, no pictures for these boys. Some pets. And that is that. So we're going to quickly take a little bit of a field trip outside of Cyrodiil. We're not recording the Golden Vendor anymore. And we're going to end up going to the Undaunted Enclave. So I'll break this down for you. All right, so here's the Undaunted Enclave for those of you who might be new and have not experienced this before and are probably confused. So each of these 3 people down here, they all give you different missions. This one will be like, ooh, you know, I'm trying to go send me all the way to Fungal Grotto. Ooh, I go to Fungal Grotto, kill that bad man Majama, bam, come back, get some Undaunted keys. This one's probably going to send me somewhere a little bit more difficult. We're going to Red Petal Bastion, obviously significantly more difficult. And that is reflected in the store options. You can see that they sell the shoulders for the Ascended Tide area, Dragon Bones expansion, curated Fallen Banners, Flames of Ambition, Harrowstorm, Imperial City Coffers, blah, 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 blah. And because of that, if you were to purchase this one mystery coffer, we're going to do one here live, just so that way you guys can see how this looks. We're going to get a mystery item. And you can see on the actual thing here, it says, has a chance to contain ornate equipment, mercenary modus, chapters, jewelry, harmony trait, and more. So we will get a random shoulder piece. But if a style page was available, which is only available in the time period that we looked at earlier, we also would have a chance to roll for that. You'll know if it's available because it'll be purchasable at the very tippy top for 50 keys. Now, it's not available now, so this is more of just an instructional, hey, this is how this works conceptually video. We're going to purchase one and open it here for you, just so you get an idea as to what they may look like. And you can see, you open it, and boom, we got a Battle Orcs piece. Now, Battle Orcs is a pretty baller set. Now, I already do own this one, and it's important to note that this is not curated, so you can get stuff that you already own. Then you get other random goodies, such as, again, if there's a style page there, you could get a style page. There is a motif page called the Mercenary style that also does drop here from here, so you get the motif from the Mercenary, or you get the style page for that. Just kind of important to note that those are both options. But overall, generally, the value from these is going to be twofold. One, those style pages from highlighted styles. Then again, they'll be at the very tippy top here, so that's how you'll know that it's available. Or it's going to be valuable to you because you're building out your repertoire of monster set shoulders that you're able to use. So the monster set shoulders are usable when it comes to character building and DPS or support and blah, blah, blah. And then the style pages, which will be golden, and it will be of the highlighted shoulder at the tippy top. Again, you'll see it when it's there. That is just valuable because it's rare. You could either sell it because this is a sellable item, or you could use it and have a little bit of drip to your character. So everyone, thank you guys so much again for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I did a little bit more of a breakdown for a couple things, just because the TLDRs, we have the Scribing feature coming in July with the Golden Pursuit. It'll be part of the ESO base game. A little bit of a sticky wicket there. A lot of people thought that was a little bit controversial. And then we'll also have some really cool things returning, such as the Fair Winds house. We also will have the Blind Arms Pack. Now, notably, when we talked about the Blind Shoulders, there was 0 listings of it on PC. The entirety of PC had 0 listings of it. So it could be one that's really valuable. It's got that really starry aspect to it. Kind of looks like an exploding crystal. Then that will be available from the 22nd through the 29th of May. Troll King will be a significantly easier farm, and it's available from the 29th to June 5th. And then finally, as I scroll to it here, we'll have the Swarm Mothers, which will be available from May 27th through June 2nd. So that'll be the easiest farm. You basically could do that blindfolded. And how much value the actual styles are going to have is going to depend. The Blind is definitely going to be number 1. The Troll King is definitely going to be number 2. And Swarm Mother is definitely going to be number 3. But how valuable is it going to be? It's hard to say. A lot of people are playing Oblivion. People who aren't playing Oblivion are trying to get their Golden Pursuits done. How many people are going to run back over, to start farming these dungeons? I don't know, but that means that there could be a good gold making opportunity for you, because the Blind, I would assume, is going to have some million plus gold value to it. Troll King, I would probably guess. PC, maybe it hovers around 1 million, maybe a little bit less. And then Swarm Mother on PC is probably about 500k. And then on console, you could pretty much divide those numbers by 3 because that's just the gold value deflation is just a little bit different. But thank you guys so much again for watching. We're already a quarter of a way to 31k subscribers. So thank you guys for helping me hit almost another goal here. As always, we're doing our quick 3 giveaway drawings. All you need to do to enter is be subscribed. Thank you guys again for 30k. Second thing is just make sure you leave a like and a comment on the video. Both of those things are entered equally throughout the month, so you can do one or both. It's up to you. On as many videos as you want. And the third thing is look for a hidden word be flashed upon the screen. If you're the first person to find and comment that word, you will win. Have a fantastic Sunday into Monday, everybody, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.